Everybody, it's Macky again. This is part 2 of our series where we're going through the investigative process. And I hope this is helping you if you're looking to hire an investigator in the future, or maybe you're looking to hire me. I'm not sure. Maybe you just want to know how the process works. Hope this helps you in your decision making. Now, in part 1, we went through the actual 4 steps on a broad view. And then today we're going to start by breaking down part number 1, which is listing goals. We're going to talk about some goals you may have for your case, and then talk about how we work with those and how we work with clients in developing goals. So let's flip our page over. I got my microphone moved up. Maybe you can hear me when I'm back here at the board now. All right. But let's talk about some goals for cases. All right. Step number 1, list goals. All right. Now, oftentimes clients come to us, they don't even know what the goals are. They just say, hey, I know I need some investigating done and I don't know what to do. I've had people who've been in jail for 20 years and they've had some appeals that failed or whatever. My shirt keeps getting hung up here. But they've had some appeals that failed or whatever. And they say, hey, there's other evidence out there. There's other witnesses that can show that can talk about how I wasn't even at the crime scene. But it never was brought up in the original trial. My court-appointed attorneys have never brought it up during appeals, and I'd like somebody to go out and do it. They may not know that's a goal, but a goal is find witnesses. Let's write it down. Find witnesses. That's real important in criminal cases where we're trying to go out and prove new evidence. I got to get a sip of my Celsius here. Where we got to go out and find new evidence, and witnesses are a big part of that. They can give somebody an alibi. They can say, hey, we had one where there was a gun involved, and they said our client owned the gun, but we had another guy that we found that said he didn't own the gun. I was trying to buy it from another guy. So that's a big deal. Now, it's still a long process. Rule 32s are a long process. And once you're in that system, it's a long process to get out. It's hard to untie that convicted knot. Does that make sense? So that's one big deal there. All right, let's talk about domestic case. All right. Prove spouse is cheating. Big one, right? Prove spouse is cheating. That's a big one in domestic cases. We get those a lot, and sometimes it's 50-50. It's usually 50-50. We get about half the people are men, half are women. Now ours come in spurts. So for 60 days, we'll have nothing but cheating men. And then for the next 60 days, it's the women's quarter or whatever you want to call it. And it's nothing but women for 60 days, but it is about 50-50 mix, men and women. The interesting part is a lot of people get on Facebook groups and different things and they say, it's Alabama or Tennessee or you name it. It don't matter if you get evidence for adultery. It doesn't matter. Most people come to us, they just want to know. They want to prove that their spouse is cheating so they can move on with their life. A lot of them do it for religious reasons. Some just do it they want to know. Okay. Now there is some impact here and on the cheating spouse. When you're talking divorce, you can, if you have a good lawyer, you can push for, hey, I've been home raising children and this guy or this girl has been out running around with another woman, getting drunk all the time, spending money, all those things. I've been trying to hold the family together while this person has been out blowing all of our money. All right. Another goal would be, along with this, the cheating is spends money, excessive spending. We got one going on now where a guy went out and bought a high dollar sports car and he goes out every night drinking. And I'm not talking about has a few Pabst Blue Ribbons with his buddies. He drinks high dollar, top shelf, and buys it for the bar, throws that credit card down, boy, and he spends a ton of money. And we've been documenting that. And his wife's been home with children, trying to raise kids. She's on a school teacher's salary. He's retired. They're not like they're super wealthy or anything. So she's trying to say, hey, Mr. Judge, I've been holding this family together and this guy's burning through all of our money and here's the proof of it. Okay. So that is excessive spending is one. Hiding assets is a big one. Hiding assets. All right. My handwriting's pretty terrible, but hiding assets is one. That's where we get that a lot with business owners, and they have cash and they try to move it into another bank account and they don't tell anyone. Okay. We proved the guy was hiding assets because he kept going and making deposits and withdrawals at a certain bank through surveillance. We watched this. And the wife's like, hey, we don't have a bank account there. They subpoenaed his bank records, and then he lied during deposition, said, I don't have a bank there. They showed him some video, and then he came forward and said, yeah, I've got that money there. And it was a decent amount. It was like $300,000. So yes, hiding assets is a big one. We've had it where they hide equipment and they try to say, hey, I don't own this equipment. I lease it or whatever. And they actually own it. So yes, equipment, trucks, cars, you name it. That's all domestic side of the house. Let's talk about workers' compensation fraud. Let's talk about a goal for the case would be prove fraud. Proving fraud. All right. This could be workers' compensation or any type of insurance fraud. And the big thing we're doing there is we're going out with surveillance and proving that these people are not injured. We had one last year where a guy said he got into a car wreck in a company car. Okay. And he said he wasn't injured physically, didn't have a broken anything. All right. But he said he had post-traumatic stress and could not work. Okay. Now we followed him around for about a week and we videoed him working at another job and doing a great job at it. He's working on a farm, doing great work, and did not appear to have any type of PTSD. All right. So he said he couldn't work for one place, but he went to work for another place and he was double dipping. He was drawing a check from the insurance company and plus working at another location. So that is fraud. All right. Some other goals we might have. Another goal we might have is to find a missing person. Okay. We get a lot of these where teenagers are missing. They're missing on what we call on their own free will. Nobody has kidnapped them or anything like that. They just ran away and are living with somebody else. We usually have them where they've been adopted and they found their birth parent, and their birth parents helping hide them because they want to try to fight for their rights back. Those kind of things. Or they've got into it with their parents and they've ran off and living with friends. That's a big deal because if they're living with another adult and they're underage, why won't that adult report them as missing? Okay. Now, if there's abuse going on in the home, sexual abuse, physical abuse, that's one thing. They're trying to protect the child from abuse. 99% of the time, there's no abuse. They just don't want to act the way their parents are telling them to. They don't want to have discipline in the home, and they get their phone taken from them, so they run away. And we get hired to go find them. Okay. And then there's these goals could go on forever and ever. I'm not sure. In the comments, list some more goals that you could have in a case. The goals are oftentimes clients come to us. They don't even know what their goals are, and we help them through that. Hey, what is going to help you win your case or get a favorable outcome? That's what a goal is. What helps you get a favorable outcome? And that's where we come into play. Hey, we've seen thousands of cases, and we say, hey, based off what you're telling me, this would be a favorable outcome if we were able to prove this. So yeah, that's a goal. And that's what we do. And that's it for part one. I'd like to see some comments talking about some goals that you've had in cases or a goal you'd like to see us talk about. Just let me know. Talk to you soon.